Okay, I thought you were gonna be gone tonight,
was.
so, okay.
I boycotted my grandson's birthday party. We actually moved it
Okay.
so I could be here.
Ryan?
Well, that's mighty nice of you.
Is that why it's framed in your office?
It's discussion. I don't know if we're going to executive session. He's got there's a lot of plans. Yeah. Sounds like it's nice. Shoot for 180 land.
Yeah, it's like
It's like weird
180, yeah.
when I'm begging people who couldn't give it away.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 70 degrees tomorrow and 32 on Thanksgiving, I think, or something like that.
Those are remarkably
It
good
sounds like
crops,
the
aren't they?
Iowa-Nebraska game's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it might be a little chilly.
That can't hurt us, right?
That tips over.
No, I think we're happy about it.
It can't hurt Iowa either.
At least it has a stopper on it.
Both just weather teams.
I think it's going to be 10-7, and defense is going to have 2
Yeah,
scores.
done.
I'm not saying who's going to win, but it's going to be 10-7. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff done.
I dish it out, I guess I gotta accept it.
We always joke when Control's on vacation, what can we remodel?
15 cents. Okay, welcome everybody to the city council meeting tonight here on Tuesday, November 21st, 2023 in the city council chambers, of course. Officially calling the meeting to order. I do not see Mr. Dye in the audience. Mr. Garrick, would you grace us with an invocation, please?
Heavenly Father, I thank you for the people I find myself with today. I thank you for their generosity and their willingness to give their time to lead this city. I ask for wisdom and grace, and I ask for knowledge and peace that to lead in your will. And above all else, let your will be done. In your mighty name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Angie, roll call, please.
Missy?
Here.
Tryon? Here. Bull?
Here.
Lucas?
Here.
Gary?
Here.
Flanders?
Here.
Ricker?
Here.
Woods?
Here.
Thank you. Current copy of the Open Meetings Act of the State of Nebraska is posted on the wall at the back of the council chambers. Meeting procedure: the public may address specific agenda items at the pleasure of the mayor. If recognized by the mayor, please identify yourself by stating your name and address. Please address the council through the mayor and limit your remarks. We respect our city employees and request that any complaints or criticisms of employees not be aired in a public meeting. Concerns about employees should be brought to the attention of the city administrator or the mayor. Excuse me. Individuals in violation will be declared out of order. Consent agenda. All matters under the consent agenda are considered by the city council to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. Any city council member may, however, remove an item from consent by request. Item number 1, approve the minutes of November 7, 2023. Number 2, place on file the treasurer's report for September 2023. Item number 3, send application of AS Brew LLC DBA Ape Ship Brewing for a Class L liquor craft brewery brew pub for the for their location at 520 North Dewey Street to the to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission with no recommendation.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Reeker, second by Nisley. Calling the question on the consent agenda. Consent agenda is approved. Thank you. Number 4, approve contract with Civic Plus for a new City of North Platte website and authorize the mayor to sign all applicable documents relating to the agreement.
I move to approve the contract agreement between Civic Plus and the City of North Platte and authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents as a measure to address the impact of COVID-19 on individuals and households.
Second.
Motion by Garrick, second by Flanders. We have a quick presentation here, if you wouldn't mind. Thought it might be a good idea to show the council just in general the different types of websites we're talking about using here or are going to. Obviously, it's not customized to the North Platte website, but this is just the comparative. So I'm going to hand it over to Sean and Kevin over there to do a little talking, and you're welcome to ask them questions, of course.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, City Council. I'm Sean Pritchard. I'm with the IT department here with the City of North Platte. So what we're going to show here for the next couple minutes are 3 examples of websites for cities, both here in Nebraska and in the state of Washington, that Civic Plus designed. The features, I'll point out a few of the features that we liked on each of the examples. Like I said, I picked out 3, but there are a number of other examples that can be made available on request. So if you guys can see on your monitors, this is the city of Arlington, Washington. So on this site, we liked the ability to pay online. There's, if I can run this. We like the navigation. It's a nice, clean look. There's the ability to publish agendas. There's a calendar. And there's links to the social media presence for the city. It's integrated nicely in there. There's data feeds that update different parts of the site continuously. So again, this is Arlington, Washington. Here's Papillion, Nebraska. Their website also has the pay online feature. It has the ability to publish agendas to city council meetings and other meetings that are on the city agenda. Again, a nice clean look. Has links on the bottom to the social media presence on Facebook and Twitter and other social media sites engaged by the city to help facilitate communications with different segments of the city population. And another example is Wayne, Nebraska. This is also done by Civic Plus, kind of showing a few different things that, can be different widgets and different designs that they have. It's a very flexible and customizable design. And just for reference, our current site, vision. So this is our current site, which is largely as it was when it was implemented about 10 years ago. And the intent with Civic Plus would be it would be continually evolving and improving and helping facilitate communications. But that's all I have.
Thank you.
So-
Hold on just a second. I just want to add one more thing. Sorry, Pete. One of the reasons it's taken a long time to get to this website component is because I've been a real stickler about how this payment online process would work. Because the goal of these websites and the intervening technology, let's call it, is to make it possible through the website to pretty much make any payment that you would need to make to the city through the website. There probably will be a few exceptions, but by and large, any payment. So if you need to pay for your fence permit at 10 o'clock at night because you're a contractor and that's when you have time to do that kind of work, you would be able to get on and start that process through this website. Just a simple example, if you need to pay eventually your power bill or your water bill or something, you'd be able to go on here into a single place and do all that kind of in a shopping cart format. So if you wanted to renew your rec center pass and pay your power bill in the same credit card charge, for example, you would be able to do that. And while that sounds easy as I talk about it, there's a lot of complexity behind to make all that work. So that's why one of the main reasons we've landed with this company and why it's taken a long time to get there, because it is actually quite a bit of complexity involved. So anyway, just wanted to add that. Pete, you had a question?
Yeah, and I think all that's critical, being able to do that. My question is, does it interface with this? Because I rarely go to I don't even know how to turn on a computer half the time, but I got this with me all the time, and if I'm a contractor, I wouldn't mind buying a permit and seeing things and making bill pays on a cell phone.
Yes.
A lot of times they don't correlate to apps. How does this work on that?
The site is completely, as they call it, responsive, but it will size down proportionally to the size of the device and the display screen.
Okay, so it's
Whether it's an
user friendly.
iPad or phone or, so yes.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Lucas?
No, go ahead, Don.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Donna.
So as of now, you pay with a credit card. I think there's a fee to use your credit card to the vendor, right?
Yes.
City. So would there be a fee to use this system?
Yes. And any credit card transaction requires a fee. So.
So even though this would come directly out of your account rather than being charged a card?
Well, it would depend on how you chose to pay. So if you choose to pay by ACH transaction out of your checking account or something like that, then no, there wouldn't be a fee. But if you pay with your Visa, there is going to be a fee for it.
So this system would take both types of payments?
Mhm.
I use the state websites reluctantly because they're real and drive me crazy, so I don't know. I'd certainly want the city website to be user-friendly all the way.
I think everyone wants a city website to be user-friendly. To be fair, it's a relative term.
Right.
I mean,
I hope
Yeah.
it's way better than the state's websites are at various departments.
That would be the intent.
again, a reason this has taken a long time is when I say we, I really mean the IT department, has had to do quite a bit of analysis around what we can and can't do with the back-end tools that allow us to merge those not even merge, but connect the websites that are required to make those payments work correctly.
I would tell council also, we had over 20 proposals that we poured through as a group, and, you know, some of them were quite lengthy to get, where we got it down to about 5, and then we whittled it down, and so there was a lot of research that went into it, so it wasn't just, we went out with RFP and had over 20 firms nationwide to put in for that, and this is where we came to this point now. That was back in March, April, sometime in there when we first started looking.
So with the current site that we have, we can't make payments at all on there? I mean, I never look at it, so, no.
It's not real friendly, there's a payment option, but it's only for certain things, and it's not very friendly to use. You have to set up a bunch of accounts and everything else, so.
So for the older generation, for the generation that don't take the newspaper, listen to TV, I mean, is this going to be a site where if they're showing how to run it, that they could go on and find out what's going on in the city, what's on the agenda, that sort of thing? Because I hear people not knowing what we're doing.
That's our intent.
And the agendas are on the current site too, so.
Here, I can actually show you, Donna, some examples of kind of what you're asking. One of the main features on their site is this bar right here. We're able to change that to whatever we want it to say. Like if we have a snow emergency, that would be posted there. If we say the city is going to close early, you can put anything up there that you want.
So you put it up there and then take it down? in a
Correct.
Very short time?
Correct. We can set a certain amount of time, say the snow emergency ends at 8 PM. We can set it to go off at 8 PM and then it's gone.
Thank you.
And then there's other interactions that we're gonna be setting up for communicating with, citizens, different notifications that they can sign up for. Say if they want an agenda every week, it could be set to them automatically.
Oh, okay.
And then an example on the pay, I'll show you what that kind of looks like. Let's see. Remember where that was at? Down the bottom, thank you. Oops, missed it. Be right here.
Okay. So they can sign up to receive any number of different,
It's kind of dependent on the application. There are some applications that integrate directly with the payment provider that we're going with, and there are some that you would have to know the invoice number, your account number to pay it. But there's gonna be some feature that you can at least make an option to pay that online.
okay, so now back to, you said, that you could register to have like an agenda sent out to you if you
Correct.
wanted to?
Yes, that's their Civic Engage option that allows them to register their email so that way they can get notified of different functions going on in the city. That was one big thing that the mayor had mentioned, that he wanted opportunities for the citizens to be engaged with the website compared to what we have now. There's no civic engagement in that website now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
Ty, hold on, Kevin, don't sit down yet.
Yep, just a couple for you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for being here. This is great. I appreciate your focus on things that people can pay for and permitting and all that. I think that's exactly what people are looking for. Is there any possible integration with the phone app? Has that come up in any of their proposals?
Yes, they do have an option for a phone app, and we were given a proposal with the phone app. At this time, we don't feel that the app is, I don't want to say needed, but it's pretty much just a web-facing type. You go to a web link. Down the line, anytime we want to add it, we can. It can be added at any time. We just didn't think the cost of the app warranted what we were getting with the app.
Just a couple other quick things. That makes sense. So that probably tells me at least it's teed up towards a potential add-on later if it makes sense,
Correct.
right?
And the app, I have seen the app, and it looks very, very nice, very functional.
On the electronic banking side, and I only know this because I work in banking, is that the city sometimes has trouble connecting to people's electronic bill pays and different things, and so I'm wondering if as this payment system gets set up in this, also trying to look at integration to more of the online banking platforms out there too. I'm not an expert on that at all, but I know that the city's current setup has a hard time connecting in that world. So just
I think if you go to the payment screen there that was up,
Actually, let me go. That one was not the correct one, but I know what you're getting at.
so see the Express Bill Pay, that logo in the upper left. They're a third-party integrator for a lot of those back-end payment systems.
Okay.
So by processing through them, you accomplish a great deal of what you're talking about. Somewhat like using PayPal to execute your bills. It's a similar
right.
process.
And one of the things that's out there is that, like if it runs through the PayPal type system or Visa MasterCard, there's going to be a convenience fee or whatever likely for the user. If you can get it to accept payments from people's online banking platforms, they can do that fee-free, and it would be a very, very low-cost receipt liquid for the bank. So that, as that comes up, I would encourage you to look at not just polling money, but allowing people to push it to you, if that makes sense. Because actually different. And I'm not an expert on all that, but I know people that are.
Yeah.
And so, but today the city's not set up in a way where it can accept a push of money very well from people's e-banking, where a lot, like, for example, Northwestern Gas, I could go in my banking app right now and electronically push them a payment in 10 seconds, but if I wanted to send the city a bill, they would actually cut a physical check and send it because there's not an electronic connection point there. So
Yeah.
that's just something to look at.
Yeah, we're not gonna be
Yep.
doing the payment on Civic Plus. It's gonna be on a payment processor called Invoice Cloud. It's the payment processor that we use for our electric bills. So they will be the ones that is gonna be helping us set everything up.
Okay, great. One last thing is, boy, on a Saturday morning when I don't think ahead, I'd sure love to be able to get my dump pass online if that was ever possible. So if that is not an expensive function to integrate with who's gotten there too for the year, just something to think about.
That is one option. We have those couple, dump passes, couple other web services that we provide hosted online. We are definitely looking at those to see, making more remote, mobile friendly.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Reeker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
Kevin, we've got a lot of activity going on in our town right now. Is there any way of maintaining kind of a running show of how things are progressing? I think particularly of sustainable beef, maybe some kind of ongoing shots as to how things are developing, or
Correct.
housing development, and how the grading's completed and some of the houses are starting to pop up. And
Yep, we can do that, in different options. We can set up a, kind of just a list stating what we have going on, or we can set up a RSS feed, which feeds that data right in, so we can update that, and it flows through the progress. There's at least 3 or 4 different ways that Civic Plus can do that.
I think that, this is something I think we certainly should be able to capitalize on as a community. I mean, we've got things going on in this town that rival Buffalo Bills time.
Yep.
And I think we need to take advantage of it, quite frankly.
Yeah, and that was our main, anytime we looked at a company for the website, that was our first look, was the civic engagement, the engagement of the community, keeping up to date of what's going on with the community.
And then the other question I have is, oftentimes there's nonprofit organizations that have different activities that are going on. Is there still gonna be some kind of a calendar, community calendar that can be updated? And if so, do we have to go through City Hall to get it updated? Is there a way to update that without going through?
They do have a calendar. I believe there is a way. I would have to look at that more, but I'm almost 98% sure that is a way you can update it without having to. It wouldn't be posted right away.
Right.
It would have to go through an approval process to be sure it's a legitimate request.
Right, okay, thank you.
Yep.
Other questions or comments? Oh, Brad, go ahead.
All right, so I see there's a recurring fee. What all does that cover, and how much control do we have over? Are you guys going to be physically making changes on the site, or do you have to send it to them and then they make the changes? Like, how does that function?
We are going to designate a few people to update the site, so that way the site stays clean, because currently we have departments updating. So we have sites that look completely different. So we're going to have 2 main people that will update, and then also some department heads will have limited ability to edit certain areas. We have very granular control of what access they would have and what to update.
Gotcha. And I saw that, to the third-party site, how does that function when is it like a shopping cart when you're going through? Can you add this, and then you go to the third party for the processing? And can you bounce around, or?
You actually stay inside that payment portal to pay for everything. There are I would say about 80% of our applications, we have a direct integration. So you're able to see your account. We have a few that, like I said, you have to know the invoice number, your account number to pay that.
Gotcha. So all that happens on the third-party site,
Correct.
essentially?
Yes.
Gotcha. To tie in with what Ty's saying, can we get our free dump passes on there? Like, that'd be cool. Not that, come in and get those too. Just a thought. And, last thing, a request I have. One of the most asked things around election time is, what ward do I live in? It'd be nice to have some kind of an interactive map or an interactive database where they could just put in their address and it pumps out, you're in this ward for school, you're in, you know what I mean, all
Okay.
the information, so something to think about.
Yeah, we'll present that to them. I'm pretty sure they can. We'll see what we can do about that.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Okay.
Maybe you two need to get together and have a garage sale. Mr. Vols.
One other thing real quick, tying in emergency services, you have rave alert, you have amber alerts, and many other alerts. I'd like this to be like one-stop shopping for the citizens of North Platte. Will this tie into those things, or is this something that we would just disseminate the information from if we had an amber alert and then send it out to our constituents and our holders? Do you know?
That I don't know. Steve, do you know on the rave, what type of, would that be able to integrate with the website?
Or ambers? They're not, okay. You know, thinking, so you had the incident out at the railroad. Something like that could be pushed out, because that was done by us, right?
Yeah,
But-
that is something that we can go in and add, like I showed Donna, that top
Yep.
line showed that, hey, we have,
So you could push that out really quick.
correct.
And is it to just people who've signed up for this site, or have the app or something like that?
It
Or
would be both. They could be people that have signed up to get that notification, or it'll show on the main
Okay.
front website.
main page? Okay.
So just to chime into that, you may look at Amber Alerts, they may already have like an RSS feed or an
Okay.
XML or something along those lines that you could just tie into.
Yeah, and that's what once we get to the building part, that's what we're gonna be looking for is information, ideas, of what we can add and improve on the website.
Now that I get to thinking about it, the Rave Alert has to have something in the back end because it does push to Twitter and Facebook, so it may.
Okay,
It definitely push to one of those platforms if that interacts with this site, so.
Yeah, if Rave has an RSS, and it probably does, then they would be able to do it.
Yep.
So,
okay, thanks.
other questions or comments?
Just real
Oh,
quick.
sorry, go ahead, Wayne.
The maps that Brad's referring to, the GIS system has all those functioning very well for all the wards. It's just
Yes.
really hard to get to.
That-
So,
Very
yes,
good.
so they're out there. You can
Yes,
find it.
and GIS is actually, next to this is our important project that we're working on. We're hoping to have GIS integrated in this by the time we go live with this.
Awesome, thank you.
Other questions or comments? Seeing none, calling the question on number 4, please. Oh, sorry. I failed to give Angie enough time to switch the screen. Aha. Number 4 is passed. Number 5, approve the bid by Myers Construction of Broken Bow, Nebraska in the amount of $3,820,363.00 for special water improvement districts number 5 and 6, and authorize mayor to sign contracts. This is the 9th and Adams Street project.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the bid and authorize the mayor to sign the contract for special water improvement district number 5 and 6 as presented in the council materials.
Second.
Motion by Reeker, second by Garrick. Discussion. We have Brent here. Yeah. And Judy, should we have any questions?
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Lucas.
I called Mr. Berkman today because I was interested in learning about the Adams, going north on Adams. I didn't realize that was going to be part of the 9th Street project. I think it'd serve the public and the council well for Brent to give us a minute on that, if you don't mind.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I had visited with Mr. Lucas a little bit. He asked some questions on kind of the overall picture of what we're looking at. The Mulligan Meadows project that Devco and the Chamber had done, they had put water main going from 17th and Adams south, and the city participated by oversizing the pipe to be larger, and it went all the way down to Madison School at the corner. And that's where they stopped. The water over on that part of town comes from the west and dead ends at the ESU building. It all comes from the west and just stops. So it's not looped in over in that part of town. And so what we're doing with the Adams part is taking it from 9th and Adams up to 14th and Adams, which is right by Madison School. So in the big picture, if you look at a map, we'll be able to get water in a more efficient manner from the Wild West Arena, where we have a municipal well, excuse me. And then you follow the lines and it'll get to the east part of that neighborhood, which is right west of the golf course, and then be able to get down to 9th Street and over to Jeffers. So it'll close dead ends, get better circulation, and holistically get water moving better across the system, and especially in that area. So Adams ties into a spot, and then in the bigger picture, at some point we may have a bigger main, trunk main, that will tie into that as well. So it's kind of part of the master plan to get that area tied in and get water main in between the cemetery and the trailer park over there. There's no water main in that stretch of Adams. So it loops things in and will help the whole system, especially in the north central part of town.
And if I can just add to that, as I've thought about, obviously we have a little bit extra money in taking that stretch up north that we wouldn't have to do to complete 9th Street. But to me, this is good master planning and leveraging on what we've done to probably lower that cost per foot and all that. So I appreciate the forward looking on this, Brent.
Have we
Ed?
had any issues, excuse me, Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead, sorry.
Have we had any issues with water quality there, Brent, because of the dead end?
The city does a regular flushing program to keep that from happening, so they flush dead ends to address it. So this should help reduce some of the maintenance of flushing that has to happen on dead ends. So in one respect, yes, in one respect, no, if that makes sense. The city works hard at keeping it so that's not an issue, but it requires manual work for that to happen.
Which should eliminate some of that
Correct.
extra work.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mr. Garrick?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the 9th Street piece, we were gonna do in conjunction with the road work, so it's tore up. How's the Adams in construction? How's that gonna?
What we're envisioning is the 9th Street will be the first part, and then the Adams would probably be the second part.
Will you have to tear it up to do it, or?
They're gonna bore it as well. So it's gonna be similar to what you saw in the one-ways. They're gonna go at least probably a block at a time, and they're gonna have holes every block, and then connect water services as they go. But it's not gonna be open trench for blocks at a time on the Adams part. And then on the west end of 9th Street, where it's the county road section, that they might be able to trench, because they're gonna be up against like the county road fence, the roads department fence along in there. They'll be further back that they might be able to trench cut that, but all the rest they're gonna be boring.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor. So I know we're all anxious for this to get started and everything, and just getting material and everything. Is there an estimated time frame when that will begin?
I haven't communicated with them on the exact start time. I think they're pretty interested in getting started. My anticipation would be probably late winter, early spring. Depends a little bit on material. Some of the brass service components are months out, so that might dictate a little bit how far they can go and when they can get started. So,
Thank you.
Other questions or comments? Go ahead, Ed.
I'm just gonna make a comment and say I'm grateful that we're getting this done. This is a wonderful improvement for our neck of the woods, and so thank you all for your support.
Okay, Calling the question on number 5, please. Thanks, Brent. Number 5 is passed. Number 6, approve the bid to Midlands Contracting, Inc. of Kearney, Nebraska in the amount of $871,096.49 for Water Extension District Number 267 and Sewer Connection District Number 21, and authorize the mayor to sign contracts.
I move to approve the bid and authorize mayor to sign contract for Water Extension District Number 267 and Sewer Connection District Number 21 as presented in council materials.
Second.
Motion by Garrick. Was that you, Ed?
Yes.
Okay. Second by Reeker. Discussion on item number 6.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Lucas?
I don't know if this is that material, but there are 2 different dollar amounts on that, on the description side. I'm suspecting one of them's incorrect. Maybe. It's a $3,000 difference, so, unless I'm misreading it.
Oh, yeah, it should be 870.
So
871.
we might just have a modest correction in the materials there.
Yeah, okay.
Should be 871.
Yeah.
Yep.
So on the item description under why this item is before the council in the first line, it should be 871, not 874. But it was correctly read and correctly motioned.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Okay, thank you for pointing that out, though. Other questions or comments? See any reason to remake a motion in light of that change or anything like that? Okay. Okay, calling the question on item number 6, please. Number 7, receive certificate of completion for Special Water Improvement District Number 4, Jeffers Street between A Street and Leota Street, thence east from Jeffers Street on Leota Street to Dewey Street, and accept said improvements.
Mr. Mayor, I move to accept certificate of completion for Special Water Improvement District Number 4, Jeffers Street between A Street and Leota Street, thence east from Jeffers Street on Leota Street to Dewey Street.
Second.
Motion by Reeker, second by Nistley. Any discussion on this? Do we want Brent to tell us briefly what we're doing here? Brent, tell us briefly what we're doing.
We did.
We know what we're doing, but just for the sake of the public, let's.
These, I'll just kind of blanket these next 3 together because they're both receiving certificates of completion. It's the final step in the process of, we took bids, you saw the bids, you approved the payments as we went along. We're saying the projects are complete. So that allows financing, permanent financing to go into place, and it's like locking the door when you leave. So it's the final step of this process, so.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments? Seeing none, calling the question on item number 7, please. Thank you. Item number 7 is passed. Item number 8, receive certificate of completion for Street Improvement District Number 329, Lakeview Boulevard from intersection of West A Street to the intersection of Front Street, and accept said improvements.
I move to accept certificate of completion for Street Improvement District Number 329, Lakeview Boulevard from the intersection of West A Street to the intersection of Front Street.
Second.
Motion by Garrick, second by Reeker. This one is highly similar to the last one, except in a different location. Do we have any discussion or questions on this one? Seeing none, calling the question on number 8, please. Number 8 is passed. Number 9, receive certificate of completion for Street Improvement District numbers 335 through 348 as listed in council materials, and accept said improvements.
Mr. Mayor, I move to accept certificate of completion for street improvement district numbers 335 through 348.
Second.
Motion by Flanders, second by Lucas. Again, highly similar. Any discussion on this one? Seeing none, calling the question on item number 9, please. Item number 9 is passed. Item number 10, Accept and authorize the mayor to sign renewal of maintenance agreement number 20 with the Nebraska Department of Transportation.
I move to have the council accept and authorize the mayor to sign renewal of the city maintenance agreement number 20 with the Nebraska Department of Transportation.
Second.
Motion by Garrick, second by Reeker. Any discussion on item number 10, please? Seeing none, calling the question on item number 10, please. Item number 10 is passed. Is your voice primed up, Lane? Second reading and action on ordinance number 4148 to amend section 110.01 of the Code of the City of North Platte relating to occupation taxes. Lane, would you read the ordinance, please?
Ordinance number 4148, an ordinance of the city of North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska, to amend chapter 110, title 11, section 1 of the Code of the City of North Platte, revising business occupation taxes, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, to provide for severability and providing for the effective date and publication thereof.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the second reading and action on ordinance number 4148 to amend 110.0 of the Code of the City of North Platte relating to occupation taxes.
Second.
Motion by Reeker, second by Lucas. Any discussion on item number 11? Seeing none, calling the question on item number 11, please. Item number 11 is passed. Item number 12.
Mr. Mayor, I request that we go into executive session for the sole purpose of discussing real estate transaction contract negotiation in order to protect the public's interest. I'm wondering if we should move this to the back of the meeting and
I guess we could if you'd like.
I just was thinking for maybe some of the people that are here.
Okay.
You want to withdraw your motion?
I would withdraw my motion.
Okay, we'll reorder and we'll consider item number 12 right ahead of number 16. So we'll move to item number 13. Second reading and action on ordinance number 4153, amending the City of North Platte Code of Ordinances, Chapter 76, Section 76.22, parking and storing of RVs. Lane?
Ordinance number 4153, an ordinance of the city of North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska, amending chapter 76, parking rules, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the effective date and publication thereof in pamphlet form.
I move to adopt ordinance number 4153, amending the City of North Platte Code of Ordinances, Chapter 76, Section 76.22, parking and storing of RVs, recreational vehicles, on second reading.
Second.
Motion by Garrick, second by Vols. Any discussion on item number 13?
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Lucas?
Yeah, I'm curious from the rest of the group. This is a ordinance that it's been well publicized by our media, and this, of course, we've gone through first reading already, and this is second reading. I expected a lot of phone ringing on this ordinance. I have had 3 constituents tell me that they're really glad the city's doing something with this because it's been a problem on their block, but I haven't had the contacts I really anticipated on this ordinance, and it was pretty quiet at the Planning Commission too, so I'm really just curious if anybody's hearing anything from constituents on this.
I've received 0 calls on this.
Okay.
Me too.
I received a favorable call.
Yeah.
I'm 0.
I have spoken to some people about this, and yeah, they're pretty much in favor of it.
Great, that's what I'm hearing too. Okay, thanks for,
I had 2 people walk up to me in various places, and they were both in favor as well. So,
great, thank you.
other questions or comments?
So I guess I do have a comment, though. Is this something that, and I hate neighbors reporting on neighbors, but is that how you're gonna find this business out? or is the police department going to be patrol? I mean, how do we enforce this?
The majority of the time, neighbors or concerned citizens report in the form of complaints. Judy, keep me honest here, probably 90% of what we learn about. Occasionally, the police encounter a scenario that involves an RV, but I would say above 90% of them are from people in a neighborhood concerned about the status of an RV, either on the street or in someone's backyard or something like that.
Okay, so the way I'm reading number 4 on page 77, it is from November 1st to March 31st, they, all RVs, campers, trailers, whatever, to be off all the streets, regardless of snow route. Okay.
Other questions or comments? Seeing none, calling, excuse me, seeing none, calling the question on item number 13. Item number 13 is passed. Item number 14. Get ready for this one here, it's allergy season. Second reading and action on ordinance number 4154, annexing the parcel ID number 0030765, 0030770, 0055490, 0055495, and 0053625, described as tracts B and C of the North Platte Farm subdivision located in the south half of Section 3 and the north half of Section 10, Township 13 North, Range 30, west of the 6 p.m. in Lincoln County, Nebraska, together with adjoining accretion land into the corporate limits of the city of North Platte, consisting of approximately 158 acres. Lane?
Ordinance number 4154, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska, to include within the corporate limits of the city of North Platte certain lands described as tracts B and C of the North Platte Farm subdivision located in the south half of Section 3 and the north half of Section 10, Township 13 North, Range 30 west of the 6 p.m. in Lincoln County, Nebraska, together with the adjoining accretion land, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the effective date and publication thereof.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt ordinance number 4154, annexing parcel ID 0030765, 0030770.00, and 0055490.00, 0055495.00, and 0053625.00, I think. Described as tracts B and C of the North Platte Farm subdivision located in the south half of Section 3 and the north half of Section 10, Township 13 North, Range 30 west of the 6 p.m. in Lincoln County, Nebraska, together with the adjoining accretion land into the corporate limits of the city of North Platte, consisting of approximately 158 acres on second reading.
Second.
Motion by Reeker, second by Garrick. Discussion on item number 14. Donna?
I just have a question. This block 3, that is an island in the middle of the city. We annex this area,
This is currently in city limits.
this right here. Is this in city limits now?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the one that's out right now.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, calling the question on item number 14, please. Item number 14 is passed. Item number 15, adopt the resolution approving claims and authorizing the issuance of one warrant to Western Engineering Company in the amount of $134,595.82 and 11 warrants to First Interstate Bank totaling $3,035,358.65 to pay approved claims and referring to and incorporating the terms and conditions of ordinance number 3874 relating to warrant financing passed and approved on May 21, 2013.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the resolution authorizing the issuance of 12 warrants as presented in the materials.
Second.
Motion by Reeker, second by, I think it was Vols that won that one, I'm not sure. We're gonna get it. Anyway, discussion. Seeing none, calling the question on item number 15, please. Item number 15 is passed. Mr. Reeker, would you like to make your motion, please?
I would move that we enter into closed session to consider item number 12 on the agenda for the sole purpose of discussing real estate transactions and contract negotiations in order to protect the public's interest.
Second.
Motion by Reeker, second by Garrick, to go into executive session. Calling the question on executive session, please. Council is now in executive session. Thank you for attending, everyone. You're welcome to stay. We need to clear the room, please. Good for you, PJ. I have the details for you, Angie. Okay, we return from executive session at 7:08. Council will now consider what is listed as item number 12 on our agenda, which is consider proposals for various parcels of city industrial lots. We were given one proposal while in executive session. Lane, you want to talk about that?
Before you had a proposal, I'd had interest from 3 different parties. I asked them to give me proposals by the 13th. This is the only one that came into my office, and that's why it's before you tonight to consider. The person making the proposals in the audience, if you have any questions on that, and there we are.
Yeah, go ahead.
Steve, would you like to come and just give a 2-minute presentation on what we had before us?
Okay.
I gave the council each a copy of the proposal you had given me, so.
Okay. Well, basically, the proposal's simple, it's just storage units that I would like to build there. I'd like to develop the bottom 2, basically 2 acres.
Hey, Steve, sorry, is that microphone on?
Yeah, I turned it off. Now it is.
And I know we know who you are, but please tell us who you are and where you
Okay.
live.
Steve Keck. Good to see everybody. So I'd like to build a storage unit facility there and develop the bottom 2 acres to begin with and have the rest of it to possibly expand to later on, or we can do something else with it down the road if there's a better opportunity. But I think it's a great place, especially if there's going to be housing developments down in that area in the future. I think it'd be a fantastic spot to have some storage units for people that are moving into the community so that they can store their property close to where they're going to be buying a place. So that's the basic layout. I'm hoping to fit about 150 storage units. There's going to be, I want 10 by 10 units, 10 by 20, and some 10 by 25 units. So, any questions? Okay.
Okay, we have another proposal to consider. We're going to give them a bit more time.
Okay.
And then, but we'll let you know if we have any further questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for being here. Okay. Move on to item number 16.
I move to approve the claims.
Approve the claims. Motion
Second.
by Nistley, second by Vols to approve the claims. Calling the question and approving the claims.
Oh, no.
He's gonna vote no.
Well, claims are approved. It'll be okay. You can still motion to adjourn. It'll be okay.
Well, I'm really getting ribbed tonight. Taking
All
my
right.
job away from me.
Claims are paid. Public agenda request. Being does anybody in there want to make a public agenda request since we have 2 members of the public? No? Okay, so I won't bother to read it tonight, so.
Can I do this one?
No, hold on just a second. You're almost there. I have something in the information items from the mayor, council administrator. So, there is a Christmas tree lighting, or the lighting of Cody Park, which is an annual event. A lot of our community members really enjoy. That is this Saturday on November 25th at 6 p.m. There's hot chocolate, there's karaoke, Christmas music, lots of fun for kids. The rides are on. There's hay rack rides, that sort of thing all around the park. It's a great time. So if you have an opportunity, please come out.
You said 6:30, Mr. Mayor?
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
I think it goes on for a while, but the flipping of the switch, which is me and about a dozen 5-year-olds usually, is right about 6. Santa Claus will be there as well. Also then, in the Canteen District, in the Parkade Plaza specifically, on the 30th of November, they're putting up a great big Christmas tree, and it will be lit up in the Parkade Plaza parking lot. That lighting is at 6:30 on November 30th, which I believe is a Thursday, but yes, okay. And then one of my favorite events of the year, the annual Downtown Christmas Parade, is on 12/21, which is the 21st of December at 5:30 p.m. And we will have a decorated trailer of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be. Anyway, I hope that you all will be able to come and ride in the trailer and throw candy like we did a couple of years ago. I think last year we distributed red scarves and green hats, so if you can find them, please wear that with a coat that is appropriate for whatever the temperature is that day. And then we'll have lots of candy there, and it's well, of course, great fun to be in the Christmas parade. So
What time's the parade due?
it says 5:30, so I think we need to gather a little bit before 5:30. It starts to move about 5:30.
That was on the 21st?
21st of December, yes.
And we gather kind of there at the,
Yeah, right there behind Interstate Bank, kind of the same location we gathered last time. I'll make sure they give us the same spot in the parade. I'm sure they'll be happy to do that. And everyone really enjoyed the council walking through the parade a couple years ago. I think all of you had a pretty good time. Of course, Brian wasn't with us at that point, but unfortunately, some of the people in the parade thought that we walked too slow. So I said, that's okay. We'll put them on a trailer next time. So that's part of the reason we'll have a trailer. So anyway, they weren't complaining. They were just razzing me about it.
Yeah, add to that also on December 2nd, at I believe 6 p.m. at Cody Park is the lighting of the first responders and military tree. That's a week
yes.
after the regular lighting, so if you'd like to be there for that, that's December 2nd at 6 o'clock.
Yes, thank you. I forgot that on my list.
so the Christmas parade will have other entries besides us.
Oh, yes. It's actually,
So if we want to walk to stay warm, we can, right?
you could, but you may get left behind. So yeah, if you can jog along beside, go for it.
Sometimes I run into people I know and they want to talk.
We'll have a big trailer. You can invite them up on the trailer. Chat all you want. That's fine.
Do we have a strong level of commitment from the Downtown Association to not cancel it if it's cold after people have built floats this year?
I did not discuss that with them, so you know those people. You're welcome to reach out to them.
I have shared with them how many times last year or whenever it was that how many people had prepared for the parade and were pretty disappointed with that decision. So
Yes.
so
I would
let's
remind
get that
you,
on
though,
the
with
record.
wind chill, it was -30 last year
I
when the
know.
parade would have been occurring. So
I know.
it's a good thing. Okay, Mr. Reeker, before this gets any worse.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Reeker, second by Nisley to adjourn. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you on December 5th, if not before.
6 o'clock on December 2nd.
Wish you all a very happy and thankful.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.